Hello to my fellow history lovers and people that think if I learn something new, it'll be a great day. I've got two questions for you. But first, I'm going to tell you real quick. Somebody asked me the other day, why do you always start with that? Welcome to my fellow history lovers and people that think if I learn something new, it will be a great day. So that comes from my dad. My dad is amazing. He is 85 now, and his whole life has been, if I learned something new, it was a great day. So when he was 70, he retired from his kind of construction concrete and went into farming at age 70, started farming. So now he's 15, he's been doing it about 15 years, and he loves it. And I'm his number one helper. But I called him, I came back from our trip, and I said, hey, what are you doing today, Dad? And he said, well, I was actually out there planting, behind the barn, this area. And I said, well, it's way too early. And usually I'm the one who has to help. And when I say help, I don't actually plant. I don't think he trusts me to keep the rows totally straight. I do the cultivating. And he said, no, I was reading in this farm magazine, Eileen, this is kind of interesting. And it said that if you plant really early, that the corn will be shorter, but it'll be sturdier and less vulnerable to winds, because in the Midwest we have wind issues. But that's just I love that. And I think if all your life, every day you wake up and think, if I've learned something new, it's going to be a great day. So that's where it comes from. Anyway, all right, two questions for you today. And number one, true or false? The origins of the Minutemen can be traced back to Elizabethan times in the 1500s. Is that true or false? And if you think like I did logically, well, it must be true. They wouldn't just come up with something that random. That part, you're right, it's true. But I'll have to look into it more. But it says, although not identical to Minutemen, soldiers with similar responsibilities can be traced back to the Elizabethan times in the 1500s. All right, number two, and this is it. It is estimated, how many loyalists were there in the colonies? A, 250,000, B, 500,000, or C, 750,000? And if you said B, you're right. It was estimated that 500,000 loyalists in the colonies. That would be roughly 1/5 of the population of the colonies. And then they give the four colonies where they had the highest percentages or concentrations of loyalists. If you can give me two of the four, I would count it. So I'll give you a clue. Two of them start with an N. If you said New York, yeah. And North Carolina, yeah. And then the other two starts with a P, Pennsylvania, and S, South Carolina. All right, thanks for letting me share. I hope you have a great day. I hope you learned something new and that you just make it a great day. I'll see you later.